Saturday, you said wait and see. What do you mean here now that you're here?
Wait and see. I mean, just wait and see. Wait for the show because I mean, we gonna come to the SEC tournament and we gonna put on a show for y'all. Basically, we gonna come out and be playing the basketball that we've been playing the last 3 wins that we've had.
How much confidence have you taken from that into this tournament?
We've taken a lot of confidence because it just shows that we are better than what we were used to playing. Because coming out with these 3 wins, it just showed that the basketball we were supposed to have been playing throughout the whole conference play, and it just gives us a lot of confidence to come out and play like this. So I mean, we're just waiting for it.
Coach Anderson said you guys are a much different team than the last time you guys played Florida. In your opinion, what is the biggest difference in the team right now?
I mean, the biggest difference is our defense. We communicate on the floor more. We're trusting each other a lot more. Then we're letting our defense lead to our offense.
Coach said you got sort of that almost syndrome. You've had some of those tight games that you almost pulled out. You've pulled out some of those, but you take that into account. Does that help you here as you go into the SEC tournament if you get in a situation like that again?
Yeah, I mean, it helps us, get to the pack because we've been in those situations before where we couldn't pull out the win. And, I mean, just to where we get in the tight situations, we've learned to, just pull out the win at the end because, like, take, for instance, the Ole Miss game when it came down to where it was, I think we were, like, down 1 or maybe it was tied up if I'm not mistaken. And Jalen Harris, I mean, he hits a layup. At that point in time, we basically learned because we've been in situations like that all throughout the season. I wouldn't say, I don't, I know Kayvon, I don't know him that well, but I mean, basically the biggest key right now is to make sure like you said, make sure he doesn't go off. We got to stay locked in on him and make sure him or any other guy on the team doesn't go off.
Keyshawn looks like a game time decision. The rest of the bench, how do you feel about going in with these guys?
I mean, we just going to wait and see what's going to happen Thursday. I mean, because he tweaked his stuff yesterday in practice, and then it was just, he was sitting out after then. I mean, hopefully for a speedy recovery for him. I mean, he's a hard worker. I mean, he's a big factor for this team, but we're just going to see what's going to happen Thursday.
Did you feel good about the other guys coming off the bench?
I'm real confident in the other guys coming off the bench because he's just not one of the guys that come off the bench that gives us, that extra, push when it comes to being in games.
How important, or what's more important, the first team All-SEC or the All-SEC team defense for you?
I'm grateful for all of them. I mean, I don't think any one of them is important than the other one. I'm just grateful for all of them to be, chosen to be in those positions.
But to be able to be on the all-defensive team, what did that mean to you?
It meant a lot because, basically that's what, my main focus is, especially with this team. Our main focus is defense, and our defense, tells a lot with our game, because like I said, our defense leads to our offense, and that just takes us, down the stretch throughout the games that we've played.
Do you think you guys have developed as a half-court team down the stretch, knowing that, Florida, they're going to want to slow you down?
I mean, we've developed a lot with being in that situation because we're trying to be like a fast-paced team, but sometimes it's always good to slow it down just at least 1 or 2 plays. So being able to slow it down and execute plays and come down and be able to get what we want is good because sometimes teams want us to play slow, and we can always slow it down and play slow, and then we can always speed it right back up.
Can you talk a little bit about the development of Isaiah? Obviously, primarily known as a shooter, but Coach Anderson said his skill set has developed way beyond that.
I mean, Isaiah was mainly the shooter when he came in, but Isaiah was one of the hardest working freshmen when he came here. He was always in the gym. He always worked on his handles. Every time you see him in the gym, he was either working on some type of thing where he was coming off a screen, or he was just working on handling through cones and stuff. And I mean, the way he developed his game was big because he kind of came up in big games throughout this season.
How much does that help you, maybe taking some pressure off of you, knowing that guys now have to pay even more attention to Isaiah?
Yeah, I mean, that helps me a lot, but, we just got to feed the hot hand. So if Isaiah gets hot, we feed him, or if any other player on the team gets hot, we feed them.
Danny, whoever's on you in the paint from Florida, Kavarius Hayes just had a big game against Kentucky. What's going to be your approach? I mean, that they like to play 4 guards, but on the paint there might be a little tussle going on there.
Yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10, they probably gonna double and triple team me and stuff like that. But I just gotta be patient on the post. And when it comes to trying to attack fast or anything, I just gotta be patient. I can't go faster than what I'm usually doing because I might either get a turnover or I might get an offensive foul.
When you guys go with Joe and Mason Jones out there, that's a good situation. You get that set where you got more shooters you can go to.
I mean, you know, they're both great shooters, and have him out there, you know, it's just, you know.
Yeah, Desi as well.
Yeah, their attention span, the opposing team's attention span has got to, you know, be, you know, to where they can make sure they find shooters and make sure they keep the big man off the glass and stuff like that. So, I mean, we just, you know, take that as an advantage.